Do you know what time they'll be done?
No idea. Just got finished.
Okay.
Thank you.
The members are going back to the steps.
The whole country is so proud of Congress. Yeah, well,
Thank you, Cori.
we got a lot of respect for you. We saw you sleeping out here. You just really having an activist.
You're not going up there. You're going to the steps.
And I love flowers, so just so you know, it's just my thing. It's flowers. Please don't.
Cori Bush, will you hold your colleagues accountable who are giving money to war instead of giving money for housing? Will you give money? Will you tell your colleagues to stop giving money for war?
We're not taking questions right now, but thank you.
We deserve an answer for that, though.
We're not taking questions right now. We're addressing the All right, if I can have everyone's attention, please. Thank you all for being here.
Sean
I see
Blackman.
faces
What's
in the crowd tonight
Franco from Frankenhouses.
who
Yeah,
were
good to
one
see
of
you.
two, sometimes three, sometimes four people who had to sit up and not lay down on the hard, sometimes cold ground on these steps. I see a couple of them there doing the unglamorous work of saving our democracy by putting our bodies and our minds on the line and joining Congresswoman Cori Bush and her incredible colleagues, including the colleagues that are up here today. And just to set the stage, as of Saturday night, as of Sunday at 12 a.m., there were 0 people protected by a federal eviction moratorium in our country. It became an eviction emergency. And because the Congresswoman decided to put her body on the line and said, I can't leave work. St. Louis sent me here to do this work. I can't leave work. I can't go back to St. Louis until I deliver this for them. And she put a chair right here and said, I'm not leaving, and told all her people, I'm not leaving, and told these incredible members of Congress she's not leaving. It galvanized a national moment and movement, and it captured the imagination of people across the country to believe that when people come together, we are capable of protecting those among us who need this place to work for them the most. And so, what has just been announced is that the CDC, under the direction of the President, is implementing a new federal eviction moratorium. And Sunday we started 12 a.m. There were 0 people covered. Now millions of people will be covered around the country, and that happened because you came here. That happened because you are here. And it also happened because the vision and the incredible leadership of one special human named Congresswoman Cori Bush. Because what people need to understand, and I'm sorry, I didn't introduce myself. My name is Abbas. I'm the Congresswoman's Chief of Staff. I belong to a team of people. Who's incredible and has been supporting the Congresswoman through this work. But the Congresswoman is an everyday person who works in this place and walked out and said, I can't go home until this is done. And she has accomplished by working closely with colleagues who have also championed this, including Congressman Mondaire Jones, Congresswoman Ayanna Pressley, who was here, Congressman Ocasio-Cortez, Congressman Jimmy Gomez, Congressman Al Green, and so many others who you've seen here. She moved mountains because she did it in partnership with you all and in partnership with people around the country, because this isn't just what advocating looks like. This is what governing looks like. This is what it looks like to govern in community. And so I thank each of these members here and all of their teams who've done incredible work. But what was just accomplished here is historic. I've heard people who've been hanging around the Capitol since 1990 walk up to the congressman and say, "I've never seen anything like this in my life." That's because when regular people come to Congress, this is how they lead and this is how they govern. And so, Congresswoman Cori Bush, we are so grateful to you. You are incredible. And I want to just answer one thing at the top before handing it off to Congresswoman Cori Bush. Everyone's saying, well, what are you going to do? Are you going to stay? Or are you going to go? Let me tell you that when we came and put 2 chairs up here, it wasn't, okay, we're going to stay for 3 days or 4 days or 5 days or 6 days. It was, we're not leaving until there's action. We're not leaving until the federal moratorium is continued. So she didn't declare a protest. She didn't declare a sit-in. She just didn't leave her job until she delivered what she needed to deliver for St. Louis. And she was on her way to St. Louis to do this work. And so now that she got this for St. Louis and these members have delivered this for their districts, she personally will be going home tomorrow, but is not declaring an end to anything in particular. This is a community space. This is the people's house. And you, the people, and people around the country have made it that by showing up here. So thank you, and thank you, Congresswoman Cori Bush.
We love you. So, the tears,
Perfect.
let's be clear, are joyful tears. And some of us, when we, some people look at it as a weakness because you drop tears and, but for those of us that do, we understand it's where our power is.
Right.
It is where that fuel is to be able to continue to move on. It's like what gives us hype, and so these tears are, first of all, it's kind of like, my God, I don't believe we did this. All the while believing we could do it, but like you all, we just did the work just by loving folks to keep millions in their homes. Millions in their homes.
For 90 days.
Millions. And we didn't do it with a lot of money. We didn't do it trying to be somebody special or trying to pull on, rubbing elbows and all of this, making deals. Understand this. It's okay for us to just be who we are. That is amazing enough. We don't have to conform or assimilate into anybody else's box. People said, because today being a Tuesday, the first Tuesday in August, is the 1-year anniversary of me winning the Democratic primary 1 year ago. And I remember people were saying, oh, we don't need an activist in Congress. We don't need an activist. No, she's not a lawyer. She shouldn't be in Congress. She's not qualified. She doesn't have a husband. She shouldn't be in all of these things. What we are not. What did they say about my sister? All the things they said about you. All the things. And now we're here. So, I don't give a freak what people say about you. You hold on to that amazing thing that you carry, that thing that gets you up in the morning and sends you to sleep at night with the hope that something can change. You better hold on to that thing. Hold on to it so tight. But as you hold on to it, nourish it, grow it, love it, because it might be different, and that's okay. Don't you change you to be somebody. You are already somebody. You just make that thing as great as it needs to be, because the world is waiting for you.
Right.
Yeah. Woo. Somebody needed what you did today. We don't know who and the situations that could have happened had we not done this. So you all, I need you to know how lovely you are, how amazing you are, and acknowledge the power that you hold. Some of we don't get things done because we don't personally. We have our own insecurities. Well, I don't think, nobody will listen to me, or, or I don't have a big enough following, or I don't, well, maybe in 2 years when I get my degree, or all of these, maybe. Even though you're feeling that pull, you're being compelled. I feel, but you don't do that anymore. When it's your time, you better step up, because I tell you, I almost did not finish out my race. There was a day when I said, you know what, I'm done. There were several days that I said I'm done, actually, but my team didn't care. I said, you know what, I'm not doing this anymore. And they said, okay, yeah, we get it, but at 10 o'clock, you got to be here. Here. And so I just kept going, because they, kept scheduling me. But there was one particular day when I had COVID-19. After 2 months of fighting it, being on my back, in the bed, in and out of the hospital, I said, I can't keep running. I'm just done. And then a word was spoken by a pastor named Freddie Haynes, Friendship West Baptist Church out of Dallas, Texas. A 5-minute word reminded me about my mission. Reminded me, you don't have to have a big name and a big title. You don't have to have big money. But big courage takes you a long way. Big purpose takes you a long way. So, out of this, you just saw what happens when regular, everyday folks step up. I saw it happen in Ferguson. After 400 days of brutality, of harassment, of intimidation. But we are here. So when you walk away from this spot, you have just entered a new place. There is a new fire in every single person that's out here right now. Every single one of you. Every one of you. And so you take what you have, and now you got to go share it. You got to go share it, because that's how we change our world. So you just got something. You received a gift today. You received a gift. Now, be accountable to that gift and go love on the world. Go love on the world with everything you have. Now, as my wonderful chief of staff, Abbas, just said, yes, I will be going home tomorrow. I want to shout out my staff. My staff, raise your hand. My staff, I could not have done this the first day if my staff didn't say, I'm with you. Because I would have literally been sitting here by myself. There was nobody out here but the Capitol Police and their designated spaces. Nobody here. I said, I want to do this. Alex said, hey, I'm down, let's do it. We didn't have a chair, we didn't have a sleeping bag, we didn't have a water bottle, anything. but we started. So I want to shout out my team for standing with me and just loving and sacrificing. And I want to shout out Rep AOC. And her team. Where is Rep AOC team? Out here. And let me tell you, when your staff spends the night out here on the steps, you think they're getting paid for that? They're not. But that's just it. That's how much our team love. That's how much they want to give. Rep Jones. Woo! Woo! Your team members still out here? All right, Rep Jones. Rep Gomez. Is your team still out here? There they are. Rep Gomez. And we thank Rep Green for being here. I don't know. Yeah, right, exactly. So I'm going to shut up. I'm still holding the flowers. I'm still holding the flowers because it's the little things, you all. Thank you for giving me flowers. It's the little things. So you all, this moment is not my moment. This is our moment. This is 11 million people. It's their moment. So we're going to take a minute and we're just going to celebrate. We're going to celebrate. But as I shut up, as we celebrate, know that we also got to work. Like, this is not the end. This just turns into a different part of the work. So as you go back to your states, to your cities, as you go back home, now we need you all to go do the work to try to make sure that that structure is there, that if you can volunteer to help get the rental assistance work done, like, we really need that. So if we can start pushing that message out, because we need that $46.5 billion. Only $3 billion of it was spent. $3 billion out of 46.5. So we need that 40 plus billion to get out, right? Yes. Can you all help get that money out? Yes. All right, so now I'm going to shut up. Anybody else want to say something? Feel free, and then we turn it on.
Every day, all day. I mean, again, one of the things that we've been talking about is that this is movement work here, right? And in movement work, when we have an outcome that's desired and people come together and community comes together, one of the things that I like to say is that we come together for reasons known and unknown.
Yes.
We are here today, every single person who sat on these steps over the last 4 days, or supported in some other way, we are gathered here for reasons known and unknown. So what does that mean? We all came here with the general known reason that we wanted to fight for somebody that we don't know, and we wanted to protect 11 million people in this country. That's what we came here to do. And we showed up. People said, how are you going to do it? What's your 10-point plan? What are you doing 5:30 p.m. on Saturday? How many days are you going to be here? Yeah, but this and that. But what about?
Will people's rent be forgiven?
None of that matters.
Will people's rent be forgiven?
We're going to figure that out.
Of course.
What are you going to do?
So
I'll keep pressuring.
What are we going to do?
Yeah.
What are you guys going
So
to do?
here's what we're going to do. The CDC just announced an eviction moratorium, and what we're here is for our reasons known and unknown. So our reasons known was to make sure that we extended this moratorium. That's what we're here to do.
This is only ceasefire. This is only ceasefire. This is not a victory. People still owe money.
Turn on some music now.
People still owe money. People still owe money. No, this is only ceasefire. People still owe money. What are we going to do in 90 days? You're acting like this is a victory when people still owe money.
Y'all, we're gonna keep working.
What are you going to do? You charged us. What are you going to do?
Hold your corporate colleagues accountable. They're giving money to Israel, an apartheid state, when they could be using that money to forget people's rent.
Come on, give it up for a minute.
Small victory, but we all have to keep pushing together.
That's right. Then don't stop coming out. Keep showing up for 90 days straight.
We can keep showing up, but we.
Then let's do it. Let's not stop. Let's not only rely
I
on
agree,
them.
but they are exhausted, and we need to help them.
Then let's keep doing. Then we need to not rely on leaders.
Mic check! Mic check! Mic check! Thank you all. Real quick, tensions are starting to escalate. Someone says real quick. The overall sentiment here is we can take a pause to appreciate the efforts that we've all collectively put together and accomplished.
So that corporations can scheme in the meantime.
Like the congressmen have said, the work is still not done, and that requires us to be here. Everyone keeps asking, what should we do now? We're going to keep here. We're going to stay here until the rest of the work gets done.
We're not buying the theatrics. No, I'm not one person. My man right there. We have 137 people watching.
137
Yes.
people. Damn.
For a small channel, what, you're going to say I can't do this?
I didn't say you can't do this, but you're talking like me.
Yeah, there's homeless people. There's people that owe rent. What are we going to do about that? This is only a 90-day pause, and they know it. They don't. You saw how AOC said, oh, we'll talk about that later, because she doesn't have an answer now, because she hasn't thought about it, just like she waited for this for months. She waited for this for months, and then to do this last minute, she has a huge following.
They were working really hard.
I think what they're doing is admirable, and I think that
I
we're
was.
making a
What do you mean? What was I doing?
small.
Informing people. You think I shouldn't inform people?
Yelling isn't important.
How am I trolling?
Because you're asking irrelevant questions.
How is it irrelevant that they're using money? How is it irrelevant that they're using money for wars when they could be giving money to the homeless? They voted for. They voted to increase the budget for Israel.
No, they voted against it.
How
You
much-
don't even know what you're talking about.
I know what I'm
One
talking
lick
about.
Of research before you go out.
They increased the budget for Israel, an
Go make your
apartheid
YouTube
state.
channel at home. Know what, if
They
we followed
increased
your
the budget
strategy,
for
nothing would
an
happen.
apartheid
You have
state.
No idea what you're talking about. We're
I
all
know more
against
than
the
you.
apartheid
I know
state.
more than you.
It's not a pissing contest. Go home and
It's not a
do your
pissing
YouTube
contest.
Then do your fucking YouTube channel at home. You didn't do any research.
What do you? You're telling me I can't be on the ground?
I'm not. I'm suggesting that you.
I
learn
can't be
what
on the
you're
ground and
talking about.
inform people what's going on
I'm
here
suggesting
and
you
call
learn
out
what
these
you're talking
misleaders.
about.
I can't
What
call
are
out
the
these misleaders.
They voted against
They
funding
they
Israel.
call war criminals their friends.
Who
They
gives
call
a shit?
Nancy Pelosi and Joe Biden
Who
their
gives a
friends.
shit? You friends with
How are we not?
Republicans?
That's not the
You're
same
out-
thing. They're in a
trying to
position of power.
manufacture outrage to
They're,
get
all right,
YouTube
come here,
clicks.
come here. Let's
Get a
come
fucking
here, come
life.
here.
Do
Let's have
something
a calm
constructive.
conversation over
Do
here.
something constructive.
Let's have a calm
I'm not
conversation here.
helping. I know you
I'll
think you're
point the
helping.
problem another. I'll point the camera another way, and we can have a conversation. Let's talk about it. Things got intense because of all the energy that like from the fakeness that we just heard. All right.
What's
All right,
your
so what-
YouTube channel?
My
What's your
YouTube channel
Instagram?
is Frank Analysis. I don't have it. I don't
Okay.
have an Instagram. I don't have an
Okay.
Instagram. But yeah,
And
let's.
you're here to get followers, right?
I'm here to inform people. There's
People
that
here are
can't make it.
informed.
There's people that can't make it that are
And you're
outside of DC.
misinforming them.
How am I
Because you're-
misinforming them?
Because you're suggesting that they support of the apartheid state of Israel. They all spoke out on the floor against
how are they
Israel.
holding their colleagues accountable?
They're primarying them.
Which ones?
Which ones?
Are they
The
donating?
ones defeated.
Are they endorsing those candidates?
Which ones? You
The
know,
candidates.
it's
The
just
candidates that how many candidates support Israel?
most
Democratic.
of them.
All right.
Most of them.
Are
Yeah.
they endorsing other people to
No.
primary them?
Yes, they are.
Okay.
But you're not paying attention to that because you only focus on the negative stuff, so you can get
And then
more
what
clicks.
will they do in office? Are they going to do a better
Vote
job?
against funding Israel? That's what they're doing.
Okay,
There's
why aren't
only
they
like
doing that
5
now?
of them.
Why aren't they doing that
They
now?
are doing that now. You don't know about this
They just
because you only
voted for an
watch
increase
Jimmy
of the
Dore.
budget. I don't watch Jimmy Dore. What do you?
All right.
Well, I watch him occasionally. I watch him occasionally. But what's
Do
the
some
problem?
fucking research.
That's my research. All right, you're walking away because you can't win this
No,
argument.
because you're a waste of time to talk to because you have no idea. You're just trying to get YouTube clicks
Is
by
it
shitting
true?
on
Is
the
it
only
true, or
people.
is it not? These are public servants.
Yeah, they are, and
They're not
there's
somebody, they're not
500
people we need to
other
be
ones.
protecting. How do you
There's
think how do you think
500
your
other
parents
ones.
got indoctrinated into supporting people like,
Guys.
huh?
Can't use the tripod.
All right, I'll
My
turn it
parents
into something
voted
else.
for Bernie. Fuck you.
Handheld.
All right, but your parents at one point supported
You don't know anything about my
imperialist
parents. You don't know anything about me.
politicians.
He's walking away, so let's take a break from it.
Don't fucking talk about my parents. You know jack
All right,
shit
you're
about me.
walking away. He's doing his thing. Both of you separate.
Bernie's a social imperialist.